told me, man, it's three kind of people in the world.
All right, welcome back to the Rob and Savage podcast. We got a special guest, returning guest.
What's
My
up?
boy EMAJI, man. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Just glad to be back. What's going on?
I'm glad you're back, man. Last time you on here, you was finna get attacked, man.
I know. I see.
It was
It's
on your
okay
neck.
though. It's okay though.
It was on your neck, man. But look, man, we're gonna dive in it.
Okay.
Today's topic, man, is women empowerment
Okay.
or women in, leadership roles.
Okay.
What's your thought about that, man? Do you think could it be a detriment, or could it be the new wave that we might need to look at? Even history shows us that they have been in that position before, but I don't know if we really want to bring up how the end result came. But what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's a good thing. It's a step forward as a.
You ain't trying to get your favor back here.
No. I think there's a gray line, gray area in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a reason why. I wouldn't say that, but there's a reason why there's a little bit more men in power in certain situations. But as men, you kind of talked before that there are a lot of women behind the scenes of things, and just as well as women have a different viewing of things, so do men, but also are kind of carried away by what a woman says as well, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but you just said something already that kind of like, well, there always been women in the forefront or behind the scenes, giving the right knowledge to help things. But I think that goes in even to the part when it comes to your religious belief. A woman's supposed to be a man's, particularly her husband's helpmate.
Yeah.
So just because and I think women have kind of taken that word helpmate and think that it's a detriment, when it's really, no, you're helping that man to help him be a leader to get you through this world, because he's your protection.
Right.
But my feelings on women in leadership, I do feel like it should be in moderation to certain situations. I think that a woman being the leader of a classroom, like our best teachers are women.
Right.
I think
It's been like that our whole lives.
Yeah, our whole lives. I've always had majority of women teachers than men. Also, in a marriage dynamic, the man is the man of the house or the family, but we all know how the mom runs the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dad runs it too. He's just a hammer.
Yes.
But she's the one dictating how things go boom boom. So I think that if we look at it in that lens, it won't seem so misogynistic how they think it sounds. But
that's why I said it is a good thing. You know what I mean? Because we all know how our society is. You know what I mean? Like women should be quote unquote silenced in a way, right? So if we start to see more and more women in that more powerful role, the dynamics of a lot of things do shift. You know what I mean? But, well, let me ask you this. Like, with them being in that high role of power, should they be assisted by another woman, or should they be assisted by a man?
I might get killed for this on the online, but I think that there are two women in that situation. It'd be too problematic.
So that's my point. That's what that area is that I'm talking about. I feel like there always has to be two different kind of points of view to things. Like, say a marriage works from the perspective of a woman's side and a man's side. We both have two different roles. We can't have necessarily a female president and a female vice president, because it may, I'm not saying this will always happen or but it may be a clash of some sort, or disagreement, or whatever.
Like, who's gonna want to falter to someone? Like, okay, I think that's the beauty of having a man-woman dynamic. the man being leader and the woman being right there by his side, she can assist him. But I think if it was reversed, it's gonna seem weak as the man having to depend on the woman in certain situations. Like,
I agree.
You feel me? Like, okay, if, for example, if we at war and I gotta fall to you to protect me, what kind of man am I?
You kind of not.
Kind of not.
Yeah, you kind of.
You know what I mean? That's why the whole thing goes back to what I said about even with the military. Well, even I would never, and I say this online, I'd never be cool with women being on the front line in a war.
Right.
Because our male instinct is going to override our thinking of what we need to be doing on the mission. Because I'm thinking about something in me is naturally going to like make sure I protect Candace.
Yes.
On this battlefield, even though she's a skilled warrior herself, but the man in me like, hold on, I want her to get caught up. Next thing I know, I done took my mind off the landfill right here, and we get both blew up because I'm trying to make sure Candace right.
But that's a good point. You know, like if we kind of go to the animal kingdom, right?
Okay.
Regardless of how independent some of these species are, like female lions can roam and hunt and do all these things, but it's still up to male lions to protect the full
pride.
Full pride of everything, regardless if they kind of kicking it, laying back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Somebody
I
else
just watched Netflix thing called Predator. And I already knew this about lions, but the female lion is the hunter.
Yes,
she's really the you know what I'm saying the killer.
Yeah, she's not afraid to fight back either.
Yeah, she ain't afraid to fight back.
Yeah, and
she's the one that was going out there going to get a giraffe, but at the end of the day, if the giraffe was too much, then she made that call. Here come the male one, and he come on and help finish up. So I get it. Yeah. But outside of that, but also it's hierarchy in that. Even though she made the kill, she wouldn't eat until he ate. That's even in the animal kingdom.
Yes.
So I mean,
and that's majority of
we ain't animals.
Majority
right.
of species.
We are animals, but
yes, it's majority of species for sure. Even in the most closest to ours, which would be the primates. There's
it's a hierarchy, man.
There is a hierarchy. There will never be a female leader, but there will be that assistance, that kind of control with the main.
See, we have to be careful on the animal kingdom talk.
Okay.
I had to go through this with my brother, my little brother, because he the type he'll bring up. Well, what about the Black Widow? She eats the nigga that she.
That's a different thing, though. That's an insect. We're talking about We're talking about mammals.
Being
as a whole.
The seahorse.
Yeah.
He's talking about they can have babies. He's a guy. I'm like, okay,
but they're not mammals. If we're talking on an animal kingdom, we're talking about mammals.
Okay, mammal-wise,
the species that we all genuinely do the same thing as in a way, but we just have the brain with you know.
God gave us dominion over all those animals.
Yes.
So we got the difference ourselves with that. But I just had to be technical out there. They're trying to bring up, what about, the sea worm?
Not the seahorse.
He can, right. Yeah, like,
he the one pushing out the. You know them seahorses, the male seahorses, they basically get sick and die afterwards.
The asexual.
No.
You sure? Like, they
no, the male is the male, right? But it's weird because I did watch something about it, but when they pushing out all them things, it basically puts a strain on their body and they damn near die.
Crazy, yeah.
Couldn't be me.
But my brother, I'm telling you, my brother, he gay. He always want to get right. This nigga, he already, that's why I say sometimes the gays can be so delusional. This nigga sent me a fucking video of a lion, a male lion, getting straddled by another male lion, right?
It's dominance.
But it wasn't even as that. That was just that was a sick male lion. He just showed that clip, right? So I just Googled it myself, looked at the full clip. Man, that male lion had something going on wrong with him. And then he ended up getting killed by the other lion for trying him. He didn't show me that part.
Dogs do that. But in the dog type of realm, if you look at why a male dog comes to another male dog, is for dominance.
Person.
Yeah, it's dominance.
Right.
It's like, look, I own you.
They don't want to hear that though. That's trying to hold that argument.
No.
Because like you bring that back to the human world. Because that's basically what's happening.
We still going? Oh, I didn't know. So we got that.
She can cut. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We had to cut the one of my brother.
Yeah.
But All right, so let's start now. What
We were on. You were basically saying we can't talk about the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, so you hear this, Candace, right now. Okay? Yeah, animal kingdom. Yeah, we gotta be careful because people gonna try to bring up outside things that had nothing to do with it to make their point.
Right, but we're talking about one species, not every single.
Not pterodactyl.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking
shit.
about your lions, your primates, your your mammals, all the mammals out there.
Correct.
There's always a powerful female alongside of a powerful male.
Right. Oh yeah, most definitely. And then
it's never.
Even in the hierarchy, in the patriarchy, even when it comes to the primates, there could be the older chimp woman, a female, whatever. She has power herself.
Yes.
Yeah, because they regard her like, okay, she's not. She birthed all these other ones out here, and the big chimp, he respects her too, in a sense.
So if y'all haven't watched, I think it's called Chimpanzees. They actually on Netflix. They actually talk about that. There was an elder female primate, right? And what they allow her to do is, since she is one of the wise women, I think she was 12 years old or something like that. They may get older, I don't know. But when they go hunt, they let her eat first.
Okay, yeah. See?
Yeah, they let her eat first. Because, she's older,
right.
But she has created, or helped be a part of creating this full community.
It makes sense. I want them to take this too far, and now go when we for the kids. Now we can see the monkeys do it. No, I'm playing. But I think there's a misconception that women haven't been in power. Man, off air we was bringing up how this whole country that we in right now, our Caucasian counterparts fled their home country that was getting ran by women. The queen system.
Yes.
Until they started their own thing here.
Yeah.
So now women have always had some kind of power. You brought up about Cleopatra. They they don't want to reveal that she was really black, but she was. But she held her own too for a while.
And that's also on Netflix. And
right. Netflix, y'all need to give sign us or something. We see y'all.
Yeah, for real,
man.
But it shows how people know her for beauty, right? And I feel
like that's all they want us to do.
Yeah, as a this common age, this age right now, it's like she's known for beauty, right? Yeah. Even Marilyn Monroe, she was known for beauty, right? But people don't know the backstory of all the things that they've done. Like, say, Cleopatra, for instance, how she actually led a very powerful country, right? She kept this country from getting invaded with her negotiation skills. I bet a lot of y'all don't know that she actually had Julius Caesar's baby, which was a very high up, what would you say, he was just a leader, right? And she, without her negotiations with things, they would have been invaded several times over, but it never happened because of her. And her mindset about how things were ran, she expressed those things to Caesar, and he didn't do a lot of those things based off her leadership and her word, because she was respected. She also got tried at a table one time. That's in there too. She got tried. Because Romans, the leaders are all males. No matter there's never a woman of power. A woman does not have the respect to go against a male. All right. They made a joke about her being at the leaders' table, and she clapped back. And then Caesar clapped back and said, "You will never talk to her like that again." That's huge.
He was P-whipped, but he had to take up for his gas.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, he stood up for her.
Which just shows that it is important to have kind of that other side of power.
Yeah.
Too.
No, most definitely. It shows. But it's just that I think the society we're in right now, people just not want to. We've been in this system so long, the male species just don't want to give that up.
Yes.
And then we seen that when it came to, even though, not to bring up my political side, but I'm independent when it comes to my political views. And as a black man, I'm leaning more towards the Republican side now. And like, yeah, I said it. I said it.
Cut your throat.
Yeah, I mean, I said not all Republicans, all of them are the same bird.
Yes.
But the moral parts of it, I lean more towards on the R side. But I noticed that even when Hillary was running, she was the better equipped person of anybody up there. Like when it comes to her whole history, like her stats is immaculate. But I don't think the world outside the was ready for that to have a woman call shots. Because I think it's all a political game. Like the United States might be cool with it in a sense, and someone would because she had a lot of votes.
Yeah.
But the world though, because like the world don't really regard women like y'all think. Like a lot of women get hot about their treatment in the United States, which I understand some would be true.
Yeah.
But it's nothing compared when you go outside the United States.
Yeah.
Women look at like your shoe or some shit. Like
and that is, I think that is a terrible misconception because we talk about equal pay and women of power and things like that, but little do a lot of people know women now they making a lot of bread.
For a while now.
And a lot of them, and why it is because there are jobs that women can do that a man can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we can all do the same thing, but we may not have that patience. Like, if we go back to the Lion Kingdom, right? Mm-hmm. A male is way stronger than a female lion, and he can hunt just as easy. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna kick back and I'm gonna protect y'all, and I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, was that a mental game he played on her though?
It's an animal.
It seemed like it was a mental game where he basically like, look, I'm gonna let her return all that energy, and then I'm gonna protect you all. But who gonna try me like that? Because he know only part that really trying him was another male lion.
Right.
How many times you gonna run across them? It sounded like he played a middle game with the female lion.
Do not go there. Do not go there.
He went on and said, look, you go ahead and try yourself out. But make sure I got this dinner on the plate when I get home. That's what it seemed like. You don't think he did that?
I mean, I guess now that you put it like that, like
who else is gonna try him? In Animal Kingdom?
It makes sense. I mean, just another male. But I have seen. This was also I'll say it was about 2 weeks ago, and they were following. It wasn't like a group of like how we normally see a group of lions, right? Mm-hmm. It was 2 female lions that were on their own. But they had 4, like in total, there's 4 kids. Mm. So you have these 2 older lions, females only. 2 male cubs.
Okay.
And, 3 male cubs and I think 1 more female cub, right? There was another little group of male lions of 3. And they know, as male lions, that they have to kill the cubs to not only
stop their bloodline.
Yeah, to stop their bloodline, but to impregnate them, and now they're a part of their.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
So I guess your whole
manipulation thing. All right, same thing with the book, The Art of War. That's what brought up off of air about the Pocahontas. John Redcorn, that's King of the Hill. I'm tripping. That's a John Redcorn.
John Redcorn, you massaging.
I'm messing up right now. But damn, he did it too. On that.
Yeah, I know.
He mad for
Boomhauer.
Yeah. Is it Boomhauer? One of them.
No, it was it's okay.
Bill.
No, it wasn't Bill either.
Yeah, I'm messing up. But Dale. That's what it was. Dale. The whole time thinking.
He knows.
But, right.
He knows.
So it's even staying in the Animal Kingdom. I had watched, like I said, on Netflix. Y'all better give us a deal or something. We said y'all so many times now. But there's a show on there called Predator, and it's showing all the different predators in the Animal Kingdom. Like, they need to show a tiger. That's my favorite one. But they was talking about the cheetah, and this threw me off. We get back on this. I had to throw this out there. In the cheetah's world, in the hierarchy in Africa, they're like number 4. The lion, I'm gonna say the leopard and the hyenas. They neck.
We're talking about just in Africa, right?
In Africa,
okay.
It's the lion, leopard. He can still beat up a hyena by himself. But then it's the hyena, the cheetah, and then the wild dogs. Okay. But the cheetah, their life frame, sometimes it can be 2 brothers and they'll just roam a certain area together because they blood.
Yes.
But here's the trickster though. It's like sometimes it would be a female cheetah be by herself sometimes just looking for some kind of covering. And it was showing on here, man, that it was one cheetah. Like in other situations, that cheetah, those 2 brothers might have to fight each other to show that who's dominant. But the way the cheetahs have adapted in the world is that one cheetah would be both of their calves, and she would have a whole litter by both of them.
That's interesting.
It's crazy
because I know tigers.
They by
and tigers, leopards, cheetahs, all of them. They're pretty independent hunters, right? So that's interesting. I didn't know.
Man, y'all watch it's gonna blow. I'm like, what? Like, Darren there borderline trying to run a train. It seemed like what? 2 brothers. 2 brothers in the cheetah. That was crazy. But
if we going back to like Great Britain, and you gotta keep the bloodline going.
Well, yeah, they kissing cousins and stuff at this point. But that's another. But you're right. But I want to say this, man. I want to indulge in it. When it comes to women empowerment and leadership, spiritually, how do you think that would in line? And pretty much everybody in here, let's speak on that. Spiritually wise, how do you think that would in line with a woman being in leadership? Because you still have a new wave of people, male or female, who feel like God is a woman. Then you got the side of, if you're a Christian, boom, boom, it's the hierarchy, okay, God is God over man, man over woman, woman over child. So what's y'all thoughts on that?
That is it's hard because it's kind of something hard to touch on, because if you strictly go by the Bible, that is what's stated. That is a fact, right? Mm-hmm. But if we look at today's society, there's a lot of things that's different. A lot of people believe in different things. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? And I don't think it goes against the word. If I'm just being just as a person, not seeing it as a Christian view or whatever. So it's kind of hard, and it does pretty much go off of your beliefs. You know what I mean? Because people's thought patterns of how things work changes. Like, we don't stone people no more. Right. Just because, like, even though we know this person was wrong, they killed somebody, they did whatever, we don't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, that's a tough topic. To me. But what would you say?
Well, before I want to hear the young ladies' input in here before I say my piece. I know I'm already going to give attack, but I want to hear what y'all think here.
I was going to say I didn't really understand the question.
I was going to say,
to be honest.
What is the?
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
So we're gonna restart this part.
No, we're good. I just didn't understand the question.
So spiritually, how do y'all feel about a woman being empowerment or leading anything? You know what I'm saying? Because I said you got the one aspect, you got some men and some females who feel like God is a woman. Mm-hmm. And then you also got some men or females who feel like, even on the Christian ways, as in, is God over man, man over wife, wife over kids.
I think, I feel like women in leadership, period, is like, it can be beneficial just because, the men and the women are structured different, our brains work different, you know what I mean?
What would you say, like a spiritual level?
Do you think, to answer this question too, do you feel, how you feel about...
is our spirit a gender?
I think so. Me personally, I do that.
Really?
I do.
I think it's kind of genderless. That's why I'm like, for spiritual, I feel like we don't really operate as a woman or man, like spiritually. I think that's just like a.
Well, the reason I say that, when I did my own research, y'all can fact check me if y'all want to. When I found out there was no such thing as a female angel, I know how to take that. That's why when the fallen angels, who was supposed to be watching over us, and they had sex with the female humans, because they never seen one man before.
Yeah,
Their first knowledge was Adam. They never seen female. Eve came from Adam's rib.
Because females are Valkyries. They're not angels.
Yeah. So
I didn't even think of that.
So going into that, that's why I say no. You can be a spirit to be female or female. You know what I'm saying?
That is correct.
So that's why Goliath was made, because the fallen angels had sex with one man, the same way Mary got pregnant. The book said the Holy Spirit came among her. That's just them saying in a non-sexual way in the book. And then boom, here comes Jesus.
You are right.
So and it was several. So so that's why I say that. But I want to hear your answer on it, because I will also add on there about how do you feel about female pastors? Is it out of order, or it could be cool? Because it is women in the book that speak that I'm not gonna say it was pastors, but they was very, very enlightened, and like Deborah and Esther and all that. They was cold, but they was helping out their husband that also was a pastor.
Were they considered as pastors?
They couldn't, because women wasn't regarded. So the women, they was, even though they was had discernment, but they did their discernment into their husband, so he can preach the word out.
Gotcha.
Because the world wasn't going to accept a woman being. Well, back then, you got to think in those days, they weren't going to allow women to have a voice.
Yeah.
So,
but is that still like a thing or no? Like there's female pastors now, or is it?
They don't call themselves pastors, they call
ministers.
themselves ministers.
Ministers.
Yeah, they don't use the word pastor.
Mm-hmm. But it's the same thing. It's just a different person.
A little different.
Technically they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Why is that though? I ain't gonna lie, I don't really go to church, or like I didn't grow up in church or anything, so I really don't know how that works. But
because pastor they're gonna always hit you with the order that I gave y'all earlier about how God talks to man. Same thing like Adam and Eve. Like, not to get off subject, but be on the same subject. As a young man, I used to always blame Eve for Adam and Eve. As I got older, that flipped when I read the story for myself and had a enlightenment with myself, with God. I'm like, okay, and I can't even get on Eve too much, because when you watch it, when you read it, God says in the book, he walked through Garden of Eden and talked to Adam every day. So it don't matter what Eve brings to you, this apple, this orange, grape, McDonald's, you supposed to, I don't care what she brought to you, I talk to you every day, Adam. So I mean, you disobeying me, so I blame him more. You feel me? Because he talked to him every day. Like, I don't care what she told you. What I tell you.
So God didn't talk to Eve.
No, God talked to Adam, and Adam would talk to
Eve through the structure of how biblically how it's supposed to.
Because think about it, if God talked directly to Eve, she wouldn't even listen. That's why she even listened to the serpent, because the serpent played on her like not being able to hear the knowledge first. Why you gotta talk to Adam for? Why don't he talk to you?
Don't do that.
That's what it was. Why you gotta talk to Adam for? That's how the serpent played on her. He was like, oh, man, you be all right. Why you always telling Adam all this stuff? Why you can't tell you? You know what? You got a point. Let me go get this little. Let me get this little fish. We're gonna get this smoothie.
So I know this is like off the question you're asking, but I'm just like, so why didn't he talk to Eve? Like, was it because she's like? He made
Adam.
Tell her the structure.
It's the structure. He made Adam in his image.
Right.
For one. He made a decision that it was not good for man to be alone. That's why he brought, because Adam was walking around Garden of Eden by himself for a while. We don't know the years, but it was a while. And he probably just noticed how, okay, man, he's lonely. Boom, boom. So he brought, now, let me say this, because you got some of the spiritual chicks who might be in the comments at one point will hit you with a woman called Lilith. You ever heard of Lilith?
But I'm not.
You heard of her? So I'm not even knowing if that true story about Lilith is even true, but it's biblical. It's in a old time reference. You have to look it up for yourself. So some of them would say it was another woman in the garden named Lilith, but she was like as equal to Adam, but she wouldn't listen. So he banished her out, and they created Eve, so she will be feeling entitled to listen because she's coming from his rib. But then they say Lilith came back as the serpent. They say, and then in other forms of Lilith look like Medusa. If y'all ever looked up the imagery,
that goes back to what I was saying about two women being in power.
Being in power, it does.
Because it's we're going off of,
and I think that's not Hebrew. You can look up the Lilith thing in Greek, but it's something like that. But it's it's not the one we run on. But I learned this on y'all can look it up for yourself. But going back to outside of the Greek stuff with Lilith, there's straight up Adam and Eve. Like he made Adam in his image, but he realized that it was not good for men to be alone. That's why he brought Eve to be the helpmate. Brought her from the rib. You understand? So that's why he talked to him to go refer the message to her, like it's supposed to be. Like even in marriage today, like I'll tell people if it's not you're not evenly yoked religious wise, I don't think the marriage will work. No. I've seen some successful ones, but they don't tell you the whole story and stuff. But I have seen successful one that has been like a Muslim and Christian, but it's always the man was the mother, the woman just kind of eventually converted.
It's never
been opposite.
Right? It's never been the other way.
Never seen the opposite of that. But going back to my point, like if you're not, as a man, if I'm not spirit-led, how can I expect my woman to want to follow me?
Correct.
Like what am I leading her to? But here's the problem: our new generation, they're not even thinking that way. I'm just following him. His sex is good. We'll figure it out later on.
I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I know how to answer that question. But what I do want to know, or just curious about, is just like, why do you think even back then, just female pastors, weren't allowed, and then today, why that's still looked at like, oh, like it's just weird. Like, I just want to understand.
Are we talking about just the pastor side of like the biblical side of things, or are we talking about society as a whole?
Society as a whole. Like I'm thinking about the Bible and society.
Okay.
So, because could y'all both agree that the Bible is like more of a patriarchal type of book in a sense? Could y'all both agree? Just reading it and everything.
It has some patriarchy in it.
It does, yeah, it does.
Okay, and then today, would you say it's still a patriarchal society today?
It's changing.
It's changing, but it has not. The word has not changed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like, how many versions of the Bible do we have?
Too many.
How many types of churches do we have? You know what I'm saying? So, like, she does have a good point. And for me to answer your question, I would say that the reason that is, and like if we just look at society, I think a woman in all spectrums still feels that a man should take lead.
You think that's what a woman feels?
Not always, because there's people who want to be independent or whatever. But like, if a man comes into their life, most of the time, this may not be every relationship, but most of the time, it is expected. That makes sense. We had this conversation, and the audience can talk about this in the comments or whatever. But I watched the podcast not too long ago. I forgot what it was. But the question he asked a lady was, if the roles were switched, so just keep in mind that this lady has a kid and she's single. If the roles were switched and you found a man who has a kid, he's a single father, the wife, or whoever is not in the picture anymore. If you took on the roles of being this man's partner, do you feel that you should assume those roles as a mother? Do you assume those roles to take care of this guy? Her answer was no. But then he said, okay, well, if the roles were switched, because it's like an argument segment. He said, if the roles were switched, if you have the kid, which you do now, and you are single, do you feel if a man came in your life he should take full responsibility of you and your child. Her answer was yes. And that is kind of a common answer amongst, in my opinion, to women now. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how independent you are, you still want a man to come in and take some control if that's the lane that you're going in.
Right. Yeah. What do you think, Robert?
Yeah, I do feel like there's a cap also on women on their independence. I think that's a young woman's game. I think eventually them women, especially hit them 40s,
Yeah,
like,
it's done.
like, man,
Because we was talking about,
I ain't got no kids. You know, it's just
it's a. I hate to use this word. It is like a stock thing of value. You know what I mean? Like it's not that a woman is less valuable in any way, but as a man, like I might not want to go ahead and assume those roles because it's technically not my responsibility to assume those roles.
right.
Even like in a society now, because going back to the leadership roles, right? Why is it a good thing that roles are being kind of changed in a way? The answer is yes. Not in all aspects, because I still feel that females will still always want a leadership in some way. It's up to a man to tell you that we're going on a date today or we're going to do this. I make the decisions. It's not a manipulation thing. But it's just
I give you another one. If, say Kamala Harris become the president.
Okay.
She pull up to Exxon.
Okay.
She still want her husband to pump the gas.
Ooh.
Think about that.
She's,
Which
if she's
as
president,
if she is now
does she
leader.
want her husband?
Does she still want to pump the gas?
That's a good question.
I think yeah.
Why is that?
Because her job is to be president, right? But at home, maybe she assumes the role of like.
So how do you go from the president of the United States to at home now? I'm up under his nuts.
Yes, exactly. So
that
can
be easy.
That's the point. That's the point.
That's what we're getting at. Like,
because at the end of the day,
how does he feel as the husband? How let's talk about the man though. How does he feel as a husband knowing my wife is the president? I'm first man. Husband.
How would that make y'all feel since you're men? Like how does that make a man feel?
Me personally,
I
don't think that that shouldn't. Ooh, this gonna be a lot of. This gonna be a lot of.
My woman is president. I'm proud.
It depends if you're a beta,
that's
or an alpha male.
Because it can be that.
I'm an alpha male. My mindset wise, having my wife as the president, I'm gonna feel a certain way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna love her.
But you're supportive.
I'm a supporter, but I'm like I'm feeling kind of weak a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like, I gotta listen to her.
And I would agree. You know what I'm saying? Because like let's say for instance, like okay, she's the president, right? And don't twist my words, and I'm not saying that women have to do this.
Okay.
But as a man, it's like, damn, is Camilla gonna come home and cook me some dinner today, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think does the sex even change?
In that position.
Well, yeah, I mean they're gonna have chefs.
They
gonna have
in that position.
Yeah,
okay.
they gonna have.
Damn security guard gonna pump the gas. So that's why I'm just like, I don't think.
I just had to get it.
Okay, I don't think the president's a good one because she's gonna be taken care of regardless.
But it was just a metaphor.
Maybe like the mayor.
Yeah, as a metaphor.
Maybe like the mayor.
Yeah, it's never protected.
Let's just say.
What about even the sex part at home?
We'll get into that, but let's just say, just for a logical explanation, let's say someone's wife is the CEO of Google. Mm-hmm. Let's just say, for example, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. You know, like I personally, you know, I feel that a man should be able to take care of the household regardless of the situation, and my significant other should not be above me. Not as a power thing. It's just a responsibility as a man, like as a protector and a warrior. You know, like as you said, I don't expect my woman to go out and fight for me or take a bullet for me. I mean, she might. But it is my job to jump in front of that bullet for you, not the other way around. It's like you talk to your homies and it's like, yeah, bro, she took that bullet for you. Now I'm sad because I'm like, damn, that should have been me.
Right. Yeah, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you put a woman like equal or underneath? Because I feel like I don't know what you would say, Robert. Because so I don't know, but it's just like, I mean, how do y'all see that? Is it like you know, a woman leading beside you, or in a sense, is that woman underneath you?
Yeah.
In a sense, like what's the thought?
So that can go a lot of wrong ways.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
so
I'm just
my
say something wild.
I definitely I'll go first and then you go ahead and you say because they already tore me up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
they already tore me up.
They better get on me this one.
I would honestly say that there is roles, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying like me as a man, I expect my woman to do certain things. It's not that she's below me in any way.
Right.
It's just what is expected. We go back to the animal kingdom. I expect your ass to go kill this damn bison, and I'm gonna protect the house. It ain't no, you know, like it ain't. Just that's just how it is. Like
well, in Animal Kingdom, that's basically like it's like a woman going to the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the.
I might have seen you the money to go buy the stuff. But you went
yes,
to the grocery store.
yes. Like I'm gonna provide. I'm gonna protect. I'm gonna do those things. But it's like this is what I expect, and I feel like a lot of women do have it twisted with the power, the empowerment of things, and the. Because you could talk to somebody and it's like, hey, could you cook for me? Why I gotta cook? It's like, all right, brother, I ain't trying to, you ain't gotta cook.
Right,
you know, you don't have to do that. But like, me being old school, seeing like, you know, like your mom, well, I know my mom, she stayed at home, she cooked, she took care of the kids. And that was the relationship that I seen. And we're even taught in books and even fairy tales. It's like, that is what we see. Now, does that mean that is the right way to go? Not necessarily. But that is what we visually see from a very young age. Yeah. Is that a man takes care of the household regardless of what's going on.
And that's probably why and I'm going to answer your question, Candace, but that's one reason why I be so strong with what I say, because I grew up, my dad was a breadwinner. My mom had a job, but that was really like just buy groceries. Yeah, her job was
you take care of
buy
little stuff,
the kids some shoes or something. But Dad paid for all the stuff. You know what I mean? He was a protector, and he old school too, so he ruled with an iron fist type shit. But to answer your question about do I look at women beneath me, I will say at one point I might have looked at it. It's all about the evolution of man. When I was in my 20s, I look at all women outside of my first cousins, my mom, and my sister. I looked at women as a sex object. Then when I got mid to late 20s, I started looking at women like, okay, cool, y'all. It's just a different of how the joy they can bring to you outside of just bending over. And then when I got in my 30s and I done got woke, just like these last 6 years, I'm like. I see how important it is for women to be in a man's life for structure and ruling alongside. But I do feel like, so to answer your question, I don't think y'all beneath us, but I think y'all need to rule alongside. But y'all also need to have the grace to know when he needs to step up a little further.
Yes, and I
and then come back, even whenever. But if a Truder come in, like when we had Sanaya on here. And me and her had the little scuffle. I said, I just don't, we agree to disagree. But I don't think that if an intruder come in the house, you can get your ass up first. I need to go. Yeah. And if you see me my ass whooping, you come here. But I need to go there first.
Let me find out that my brother, said, nah, you go check. Motherfucker, get up. That's your responsibility. Right. You know what I mean? It's like,
I didn't even feel that way when I was a teenager. My mom, it's my dad at work, and so it's just me, my little brother, and my mom at home. I'm 16. I don't want her going.
Yeah,
That's my mama.
And because you're even at that young age, right? Like, let's say somebody talked about your mama. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an instinct that you like. Oh hell no! You not about to do that.
Yeah.
And
It could have been true.
because your parent, your mom might say like, "Hey, words are just words, and you shouldn't do whatever."
Right.
But instinct, because we are, and this is everybody. I don't care if you're not an athlete or whatever. We are genetically made to be warriors. Men are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women are genetically made to create. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are one of the most powerful beings on the planet, right? But we can't switch roles at all. I can't, I have semen or whatever. I can't. I'm not no damn seahorse. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not pushing.
Right.
I'm not pushing the.
Right.
I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. Like it.
I can give you life, but I can't create it. It's a difference.
That's our genetic makeup. Like when you see like an African tribe, I don't see female tribes. Well, I mean there may be, but like the only female warrior people I know about were Amazons.
Well, the Amazon, and then we just never found out about the homie.
Yeah.
Women king. That whatever.
Did they last?
I was just gonna say that's an argument for that.
Yes.
But that happened.
Yeah. Regardless of whatever.
What happened? We and I had to talk to her. I said, well, everything has life cycles, but we ain't seen one since though.
No, and you never will. And I also think empowerment of, besides like Britain or whatever, we won't ever see a woman empowered. And yes, our power structure has changed in a good way, but it's just kind of like one of those things that is kind of like that underlying thing that's like a genetic makeup or some
and
way.
I think that if a woman wasn't coming to power in the United States, I don't think that it's going to be by agreement. I think it's going to be by it happened because of a situation. I think that for example, if Kamala comes in there for body, I said, I don't think it's going to be a whole people out here.
Because we thought that when he got in office in the first place, we was like, yeah, Sleepy ain't gonna last.
Right, it's strategic. She is Sleepy. Right. You know what I mean? Like that was a strategic move.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, they might try to throw it. Oh, I know y'all want it. They gonna play on our black women's heartstrings. They get the first black woman. She's not calling herself black, but y'all know what I mean. But I don't know. What you gonna say, Candace?
It's still hard for me to. Well, I guess the answer I'm looking for, or the question that I'm trying to ask is like that why piece. Is like, why isn't there that woman structure leading like that? Like, why? Like, what is the issue? I feel like since it's always been this like patriarchal type of society and upbringing, in a sense, I feel that. In a sense, it almost puts women in positions to like almost limit themselves to certain things, and then of course the men or the powers that be, it's allows him, which are men. It's like they limit us so much. Like we can't do this. We're sticking at home. We can't do this. They got like I feel like that's why one of the reasons why we're having this conversation today. It's that struggle of like, why can't I do what you do? Not saying that I want to be a man or like I don't want you to lead, I don't want you to protect me or those things. But it's just like certain stuff like a woman in president. Like, why is that so taboo? Like, why? Why? I want to know.
Time out.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, you're good.
Sit down. See you involved.
So I'll answer first.
Okay, because I will actually piggyback off what you had just said, because he kind of answered it for you, though.
Yeah. Because do you feel that some roles should be taken, as a woman, do you feel like some roles should be taken on by you?
Some roles.
Yes. Or do you feel like you could take
roles
up
in general?
any role? Like, I'm not saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's not the thing. Like, if I wanted to be feminine, I could be feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's like, but it's like,
Shanae, Martin did it.
right. But again, I don't have the genetic makeup to do the things that you do. I think men don't have the capacity to do certain things. Just like I feel like women don't have the capacity to do certain things. It's just not in our nature. Women are supposed to be caregivers. They're patient. They're what else would you say?
I won't say this, and so you stay on the floor. I think women naturally want to be led.
Yeah, yes, and that is another point too. No matter how independent any woman is, if somebody, because we know there's them women out there who like them dudes, like, listen, this is not how it's gonna be. But if I came to you very softly, right, it's not gonna be received the same way. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was so shocked how so many women was mad at Kevin Samuels, but they like those type of guys that tell them how to do it in their rough way.
Right, because it's like, okay, ooh, I like that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
turned on
yeah, because it's like, it's like, it don't matter how independent you are, right? Like, and it's not that you can't do it. You know, like, and a lot of people, a lot of women need to kind of get that in their mind too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that y'all can't. It's not that y'all can't be in a role of leadership, because y'all can. But it's like, society's not going to change where it's just like, okay, let's just have females just be empowerment. You know what I mean? Like, as a man, regardless, it's like,
it's gonna tug on us.
Yeah, it's like I can't
do
it. You know what I mean? It's not that
as on a societal level.
On a society, because that's how we're.
Not even just societal, even just as a in person, as a as a man. I'm
a real
feel
man.
a certain way. A real man. I'm not gonna feel like like I said about the whole being the president thing. If I was the first husband, I'm gonna feel a certain way, and I'm like,
because let's say you, right? You have the protector's role in your relationship. You don't want your significant other to have that role. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in your heart, that's what your makeup is. That's what you assume your responsibility to be. I think as a man, most men, a lot of men are sissies now, in my opinion. But like, if they're at that level, that makeup is to tell you like, nah, man, like, it can't be like that. I'm not saying that it's wrong or it's right. It's just something that's in us. Like, say if you felt that you were a different orientation, you know what I mean? Like, that's what your mind is telling you. That is what it says. Like, hey, this is my makeup. This is what I'm supposed to do, and that's it. And no one can change your mind but you. You know what I mean?
I think, like you said, like, women can definitely do a certain role, like, and be successful at it. I just think it's kind of simple. It's like our genetic makeup is different. So I think men are in those certain roles because maybe y'all are, I'm not a man, obviously, but I'm assuming y'all are more logical, you know, and women are more emotional.
Yes.
Right.
So that's where it's kind of like.
And if we go back to the beginning, that's why I was saying there's a gray area there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like someone just because, like, when I said the woman's the CEO of Google, I guarantee you there's a man ahead of her. It don't matter where the role is. Like, even if we go in presidency, majority of the House is males. It's never going to be the other way around. Like, there will be some females sprinkled in here and there, and
also
they're going to have a different
some of the women don't even want that role.
Right.
You got to think about that too. Like, it could have been more of that, but some women probably just didn't want to go that route in the first place. It's more educated women than it is men. So women could have filled that void.
Yeah. Let's think about it. Obama, when we were going Democratic races, right? Obama and Hillary running against each other.
Right.
Despite the accolades of Hillary.
I was just going to say that, They still voted for her. Women voted for him,
They still voted for Obama. and it's
we're forgetting Kamala went against Biden.
yes, and again,
They
it's
still
just
voted
regardless of how sleepy Joe was,
Right.
You know,
right.
look, I'm not on nobody's side, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but like, regardless, a man was still selected.
And they already told y'all, especially in the black world, it's majority of black voters are women.
Yeah. So it's
And they
like,
still,
well, it might be a little biased on Hillary. Might be a little biased on Hillary.
Well, Hillary is gonna be bad because it's black women seeing black men. They gonna trump the white woman every time on that. But on the Kamala thing, it's semi-biased there too, even though because black people at that time looked at Biden as an extension of Obama. So that's probably another reason why they voted him. But strategic. But Kamala still was on that name though. She still was out there, and she came like a third. And
yeah. Well, okay. Let's ask this question. I'll ask you this question. Would you want a female to run the country?
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
No. Yeah. No. But would you want a woman to run the country? Let's say accolades are the same thing. Mm-hmm. Let's say if we go back to times when presidents were actually real men, because none of them are now. Mm-hmm. Sorry to say. But
I'm gonna add on to that too.
A and B, right? Mm-hmm. Woman and man. They both were in the military. They both served the United States. Mm-hmm. They both had the same education. They both, everything's the same. Mm-hmm. Who would you want to be your leader?
Before you answer that, add us on that too for his question.
Okay.
Also, if it's wartime, would you rather a man be leading us in the war or a woman leading us in the war?
Just as a leader, as a whole, who would you?
It's both of y'all really answer.
Yeah. Because y'all know, I'm just gonna add this. Y'all know how things can go as a woman's thought process.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. So maybe I would want a man leading it, but I would want a strong woman, giving input, giving advice, helping, assisting, I guess.
That's Adam and Eve. That's helpmate. It go right back to what we said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I can't lie. I hope it's not just because the way it is right now. I'm just saying this, but I would have to choose a man.
Yeah, and it's not that it's a wrong choice, and it's not that it's a right choice either. It's like I said, like that woman, she could be a beast. You know what I mean? Like she killed just as many men as this other dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, because people prey on that. You know what I mean? Like if another country seen like, oh yeah, they have a woman in power.
And that's what I was gonna say earlier, but like that's not. Yeah, that's how we've been over here. Man, we've been over here so long. We don't understand how the world outside the world thinks of women.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Women have so many rights over here. Even y'all don't know how bad it is in Saudi Arabia or whatever. Like
they're really like
they're not playing. You can't say
go in the corner.
Your skin.
Yeah,
this is the only thing that can be showed.
Yeah,
I bet I see this parade. It's your ass. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but being over here, we think the whole. Now, granted, not in the whole world, but even in China, like when I found out about in China, y'all know about this how they
kill women,
kill the baby, the girl babies.
Yeah, because
it's population control. I'm like,
because the men.
They want soldiers.
They want soldiers.
Yes. The only country I feel like has women soldiers, like, was it North Korea? Or is it South Korea? Which one's South Korea? Which one's a bad one?
North Korea.
North Korea. That's what I'm talking about.
They got women soldiers?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which one's the bad one? No, for real.
Yeah, I don't be knowing for real.
Right.
But it's like,
right.
kind of like, going back to the whole thing, like when people see, like you said, like American women, all races kind of need to know that. You know what I mean? Like, we do have, and this is both sexes. We have a lot of privilege here. Yeah. It may not be the best. Like, again, I'm not a fan of living here. But, like, there's just a certain image that has to be portrayed, right? Like, Putin, Vladimir Putin, like, his things is like he's shirtless on a horse, masculine. right? We can't do that with no woman. You can't portray that. Like if I seen that, like okay, football wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's great that you want to play football,
Yeah,
you know, it's great that you want to play football, and it's great that you on this team. But we all know what this game is.
man. Do y'all think a woman should be in the NFL?
No.
They can coach.
Yeah.
Outside of
They
coach,
can
I'm
coach.
talking playing.
Yeah, hell.
And even
Playing with all men.
But then.
Yeah, all men. Just
No.
like men shouldn't be in a woman's sport because
No.
because we all know that it
I
is
don't
not
agree
fair.
with that.
I even feel weird with the coaching
Yeah.
because we know how them locker room go,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be
Yeah,
saying.
but then you got the men who are over the women's basketball
True.
program.
I've always
so-
felt weird about that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And I mean,
It-
that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah, but it
that's normalized now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
realistically, like it me personally, coaches and all, like it's kind of weird.
It's always felt weird. We don't ever speak on it.
Yeah, we can't
Weird.
really.
Speak on it.
Yeah,
like
we can't
that.
speak on it because it's
I've always felt like
just like
the only one I don't feel about is track coaches for some reason.
yeah, because
like
it's
everybody.
it's co
Yeah.
it's a co-ed sport.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like if we look at it was JSU, they had that girl kicker. Wasn't it
Yes, I just made up. Yeah.
And when she kicked, what happened?
I was like, what
The
was
ball
it?
went 20 yards, and it's not that they can't kick a ball.
Oh,
It's
she did two plays. She
Oh, okay.
kicked, and then they put her in for
First of all,
to get the quarterback.
let me just stop you.
Mhm.
She had a full knee brace on, kicking with the leg with the full knee brace, and it's like y'all trying to make a statement.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? It's like we know, like when people say all this congratulations of like, hey, I'm so happy, I'm proud that you're playing a man's sport. But why?
I don't wish that.
What's the
wish
reason? There's no
Yeah.
just like the guy who was a swimmer and
Oh, man.
the I'm not gonna say it, but like
Yeah.
that guy who was swimming in the league that doesn't need to be swimming in the league, right?
He was the worst male swimmer.
Yeah, and
And
shot
then
up
went
to the top.
went to the top.
Yeah.
But you have those people who will praise this person, and you have those people who want an argument about those things.
Mhm.
But like, as a man, seeing that, it is disgraceful.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. I was like, bro, you know what you doing?
Like, cause it's like you're not a man. You're not. Well, first of all, I know you ain't claiming to be a man, but it's like you are. God, I wish I could say certain things, but
I know, but it
you're not a warrior. It's the best way out. That's
Yeah.
that's the
You-
appropriate word I would use.
you're chickening out. You're trying
Yes.
to take the easy word. So it's like, but even outside of that, like, I would never wish that on a woman to play football. If y'all knew
Cause
how our bodies feel right now,
Yeah,
fuck
it's
y'all
a-
wanna- yeah, what?
It's a
Man, you crazy.
yeah,
Type
like
of hits I
if,
got hit.
it's like I'm
Right.
so glad that you want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you want to try it. But you know, and you want to understand.
That's
like,
a barbaric.
It's
sport.
not and that's the same thing with war. No,
Like, is that
it's
the-
flag football.
Oh.
Well, they got some women contact,
They
Oh,
do
yeah.
have some leagues out there for women.
but
Yeah.
and that's still I keep myself to myself, but no, man, that's a barbaric sport anyway.
Yeah,
But
you didn't see female gladiators.
you didn't. So it's like I couldn't fathom. Like I said, man, just the certain hits I took, college, bro, all that shit, high school, bro. No, man. Well, I don't know if y'all body even. Hell, our body would.
Yeah, because he
He told us I had
just-
gained 20 pounds. Just take a hit.
just seeing that, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean about the whole power structure and like the
Yeah, I get
leadership,
hit up here,
you know
some
what I'm
all that
saying?
shit, cancer going, all type of shit.
And
Yeah.
like it's not something that should be.
I don't know if your neck's strong enough. I'm thinking about all that adamant of the whole, you know what I'm saying?
I went from 160 to 205 in a year.
Just to absorb it,
A
yeah.
woman can't do that.
Right.
Genetic makeup, it just can't. It's not possible. But for you
It's going to
to,
form y'all.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to say. Y'all can get that weight up,
yeah, you can't.
but you're going to look like a bowling ball or something. It's going to look crazy.
It's not going to be a male structure.
Yeah, it's going to look He's like from 160 to
I say
12.
blueberries instead of bowling balls.
Right.
Yeah, I say blueberries.
Blueberries or something, man. That's right. That ain't going.
But it's not something that
Nah.
should be done. And it's like a woman can be a leader, but she would be an even better co-leader because it doesn't affect
Or
the
teacher.
or teacher. It doesn't affect everything else as a whole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not that she can't do it.
Yes.
She can do it. Why do it?
Yes.
My sister, when she went into the Navy in '94, my dad was scared to death. You know, he was a former Navy vet in Vietnam. Out of all my siblings, she's the only one who went to the military. But when she got in there, she says to me throughout the year, she's out of the military now, she was contemplating that I make the right decision. Because now, at that time, the U.S. military was going through a lot of misogynistic things. Women was getting raped, by, all that. And she was like, I might be in a situation where I'm on a submarine for 3 months on the sea with all these men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I can do it, but why am I doing it out there? And she's a nurse, so she might have to be on that because like that's just how it goes. Like, you gotta have a certain amount of nurses on that shipment out. And that's just the Navy. It doesn't matter the Army.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
like, what?
it's like there's the roles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they're caretakers. Like like say like when we talk about like Iraq and stuff, how they send out women and children and stuff like that, regardless of their male or female, it's just like you can't your mental capacity, like I guess our society, like mental capacity as a man, it's like, damn, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that, you know, or certain things shouldn't be that way, especially if you're a protector, right?
So I'm gonna end this, man, with a new segment we add in here, man, going forward with our interviews, man. It's called the Savage Questions.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna attach some stuff in here, man.
Okay.
So, question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes, since we're on this subject of women empowerment, we're gonna stick with that right now. Do you feel women are equal to you?
We talking about what? Physical, mental,
Just period. As a woman species,
and leadership.
just life, just period. Like as a man and woman. Yeah, he trying to find a way out. I got.
Right,
I ain't let him go.
You know you want to say no.
Yeah.
Because the answer to me is no. We are not equal. Not as a power structure, but we are not equal.
Okay. Question number 2.
Okay.
Do you feel that in a marriage, male and woman, do a woman need to be subservient in their relationship, in a marriage? 'Cause I ain't really counting boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
The marriage
So
one.
just acts of service. Right? Just acts of service.
Not subservient. Like, if she's subservient, like she should be by his beck and call, or vice versa, really. But we're gonna see on the one side.
Old school standards, yes. I go by old school standards.
Third question. It's gonna be a hot one right here, man.
Yeah, these is already hot.
I know it. I
They're
know
already
it.
hot.
I know
It's
it.
gonna be something said.
Would you allow your wife to drive? That's a real question in a marriage.
Hell
We talking about driving a car. I ain't talking about having to drive. Like
no. No.
oh,
No.
okay. There y'all have it.
Now, if I'm tired or something and I'm about to, like, look, we've been driving for a good minute. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, but you should always take the lead. You know what I'm saying? It should be equal in a way, but it's still up to a man to take the lead.
I got you. That's a good question. I mean, it's a good answer. Just because of, and I want to confuse nobody. When I said about drive, we ain't talking about she just got to drive to work. We talking about like, we both in the car. Who should be driving it all the time? And I have to agree with you, bro, on that. Unless I'm just dead tired and I need some rest. But yeah, I do feel like the man need to take leadership.
Because that goes for, like, if a woman.
If we crash this thing, I want to be the reason why.
I get pissed off when a girl opens the door on her own. If I'm there,
If
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, I personally feel that it's kind of disrespectful. And I see men to this day, even though it has been brought to light several times, your ass should not be in the seat While your woman gets out and pumps gas.
Carmela, you
That's that is a no-go for me.
Yeah.
You know, like you may be because guys. I mean,
I think that's a new generation thing. I've seen that a lot, man.
that's
Like a
whole
lot
shit.
of 20s and shit.
I don't care. That's
You
whole
right.
shit.
You're right.
That's
but I'm talking
such
about
whole shit.
But I'm saying what I mean by it's a young generation. I'm seeing a lot of 20-year-old couples. The woman ain't even checking him for that. Yeah, he's supposed to be
Because it's accepted.
Yeah,
Because
it's
even like I'm not too much younger than you, but like I know I'm a generation behind you, right? Well, after you.
Mm-hmm.
My generation, we are smart as fuck. Sorry, we are smart.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we are such sissies. You know what I mean? Like, we don't do certain things because like, you should always hold the door for somebody, and even a relationship, like, and it should always like we shouldn't be so quick to run. It's our responsibility to get to know our partners and stuff like that.
I feel like it's on both sides though.
No, that's why I said it is our responsibility to get to know one another fully before we just go and have a damn baby.
Right, or just run away from that relationship. Yeah, but I would say in my promiscuous years, I'm one woman man now. You got quiet in here. Even in my past, I was getting played from women just because they're carrying guy when they cut grass.
Because
it's showing like the less of the manliness of some men. They don't even want to take the trash out. I'm like, what?
Like, what does this look like? What's this look like to you? Because this is how it be in the car, right? First of all, it's a girl's car, which is also like you need to really get your life together. All right, so this how it look. All right, so I'm in the passenger seat. I ain't saying you a woman, but we just pretend.
Hey.
This is me. This is.
Yeah.
And you get out, knowing you ain't even dressed right. You got, you may have a bonnet on and all. You know what I'm saying? And you out pumping gas. Me, whether I'm trying to holler at you or not, I will say something to you. And I'll ask you, would you like a gas pump? That's just me. Because it ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
I would do that, but these young Negroes,
pussy,
will shoot the shit out of you.
I was gonna say they are crazy now.
So that's the only thing. If it was back, if it was like early 2000s, that'd have been a good chin check for the nigga to sit in the car.
I ain't saying
get out, get shot right.
But I had one time though. I had a situation where that was kind of an issue, but I was just like, yo, like I ain't trying to press, I'm just saying.
I thought you was a brother.
Yeah, I thought you was, I just think that you should pump her gas, and guess what he did? He's like, you right. And he pumped her gas.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we do sit back and we let things happen, but we know it's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, if my girl opened the door, even if she's in front of me, even though she's opened it, I always put my hand on the top of the door to hold it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's a respect thing. You should always respect women no matter what's going on. That goes back to the whole women empowered thing. It's a balance.
And it's also that's subliminally that's showing y'all power right there about us taking ourselves out of our way to open the door for you or anything. That's showing like paying homage.
Yeah, because that's how important you are. You know what I mean? And I get the last show. You know what I'm saying? I get the last show.
Right.
Y'all gotta understand and listen to certain things. What I'm saying, because that stuff is important.
Very important.
It is important, and some treatment that y'all have, a lot of the treatment that y'all have, it is not okay. But y'all also have to sit back and listen and understand. Like, take it the rational way. That's why I think a lot of people women aren't empowerment, because that emotional side of things. It's real quick. You know what I mean?
It's true.
There was a lot of comments in there that I don't appreciate. That ain't even true.
It is on your day.
But did you indulge what our actual conversation was? Not to just act off emotion. I think to answer your question from earlier, that is why there's not a lot of women in those bigger roles.
Yeah, man. Look, hey, it's always good, man. Having you back on here, man. We gotta do this again.
Of course.
Hopefully, you got some favor this time. But man, look, shout out your platform, bro. Let them know where to find you.
All right, so I'm EMAJI. My Instagram is EMAJI, the creator, which is EMAJII, the creator. I'm here local in Nashville, and I'm a photographer and filmmaker. So if you ever need anything, just hit me up.
You got here, man. Stay tuned.